This tutorial video will show how to create a configuration file for freely swimming fish. A configuration file will indeed be needed later on to run the tracking. First, select the video for which you want to create a configuration file. Here, select the type of tracking. It will be head and tail tracking of freely swimming fish. Here, simply click Next. To detect the areas of interest, choose the grid system, which is recommended in most cases. As you can see, there is one line of 4 wells with 1 fish per well, so enter this information here. Here, select the top left, top right, and bottom left in order to define the wells through the grid system. Here, click on the center of the head, then the tip of the tail, and do this 4 times in total. ZebraZoom is now calculating the optimal parameters to detect a fish in its tail, which should take less than a minute. You can take a look at the console to check on the progress. If the program gets stuck, close ZebraZoom. Here, click on the top left, top right, and bottom left in order to define the wells through the grid system. Processing to extract the background should take a few seconds. Next, you will need to adjust the parameters used for bout detection. In order to optimize the detection of bouts, adjust parameters for the red dot to appear on the top left corner of the image for every frame when the fish is moving. The red dot should not appear when the fish is not moving. We detect movement by subtracting subsequent images and by counting the number of pixels above a certain threshold. First, adjust this threshold applied on the difference of images. Choose the size of the subvideo to be centered on the fish and only on the fish. Set the minimum number of white pixels to a value slightly higher than 0. To check that the red dot appears at the right times, use the cursor or the page up, page down for fast forward, or the arrows of the keyboard to inspect each frame. The configuration file is now done, so first, save it. In order to check that this configuration file works well for this video, launch the tracking on a subsection of the video with this configuration file. While the tracking runs for a few seconds, you can check the console to monitor progress. On the tracking validation page, check that the tracking worked well for your video. Make sure that in all wells, the green dots from the posture estimated by ZebraZoom fall on the tail of the fish. The tracking points on the body are only shown when a bout was detected by ZebraZoom. This allows you to validate the bout detection. On the right side of the screen, you can also visualize the position of the center of mass of the fish for each bout. To visualize the tail angle over time for a bout, you can choose the option Tail Angle Smoothed. Then if you want to check the tail angle for another bout, just press Previous Bout or Next Bout. To visualize the tracked video for one specific well, click on View Video for Well. You can also visualize a zoomed tracked video for one bout by clicking on View Bouts Video. If the tracking test had failed, you should click on the Optimize button. But the tracking test succeeded here, so you can now go back to the Welcome page and use the configuration file to launch the tracking on one or multiple videos.